Hello, everyone. It has been 2 years since I was given the opportunity to present about my book, Managing the PMO Life Cycle, a step-by-step guide to PMO setup, build out, and sustainability at theprojectmanagement.com. And I am so humbled and appreciative and thankful to the overwhelming feedback and thank you notes that I've been receiving to date from the various members of the projectmanagement.com community and the PMI members. Therefore, I've decided to share with all my audience about this book for the benefit of everyone that can see it beneficial, as the overwhelming thank you notes have been describing it as such. My book describes the many years of experience in managing, running, revitalizing PMOs, as well as building PMOs from scratch for startups and global organization. Walk you a little bit through my book. I'll introduce myself, the book, the areas of interest, who are the book audience, and how to use the book for the maximum benefit, and the way the book is designed to process the content, and what are the outcomes that I hope the book accomplishes for you as a practitioner, as well as an academic or anyone who's looking to build and set up a PMO. I am the founder and managing director of Global PMO Solution, a management consulting and training firm in project, program, portfolio, and proven successful PMO implementations at the various levels. From startup to Fortune 100, I was part of the top 5 consulting. So over the 20 years, I've seen the many evolutions and series of PMI, of IT, business transformations of PMO offices. I am an author of 3 books. I do supervise master's and PhD students in the specific area of PMO transformation, agile and agile PMO, and the IT strategy execution via the PMO. I'm one of the few in the industry, and there are few of us that are strong practitioners and strong academia, if you will. And you will benefit for being in tune with us. Those of us who are unique individuals that have practiced what they have preached and able to theorize based on their practices and eliminate the gap or the bridge between theory and practice. And unfortunately, the rest of us in the industry, you're either on the practitioner side, frowning on the academia, and vice versa, due to the lack of either credibility or able to theorize based on a foundation, or due to the lack of hands-on. So the ability to bridge between what's out there in the theory and how to use it in practice, and take what's being in practice and extend it to theorize out of it, is a unique skill set. Also looking at the years of practice, how we could build curriculum so that we can make students at the various levels, at the bachelor, at the diplomas, masters, and PhD, are more effective and efficient for their organizations. About the book Managing the PMO Life Cycle, as I said, is really collective effort highlighting what goes into the various cycles and various stages in organizations, from setting up a PMO to building a PMO to sustaining a PMO. And notice, I say sustaining PMO, not operating the PMO. There is a lot more that goes into sustainability than just running the day-to-day operation. It's including the running day-to-day operation, but looking at sustaining performance and being into that continuous improvement cycle. The book provides the drivers, the benefits, the know-how, and also the main purpose of it to be a reference guide, a practical guide for practitioners investing in setting up their PMOs or supporting an existing PMO, as well as a companion for practitioners who needs to have examples and studies and various what was told about PMO. The book also has various case studies that can be benefited from how organizations have applied and why they chose one type, one model of PMO, and how they evolved, how these organizations were able to capture the benefit and able to quantify and make the case for their executives. Some of the areas of interest, in addition to being a step-by-step guide, some of the areas are, again, back to types of PMOs, PMO models. You hear a lot of the buzzwords about ePMO, CPMO, global PMO, program level PMO portfolio. I take that into why there are those many proliferation as well as what is required in each and every PMO. Not all PMOs one size fits all, so PMO scalability model is available. How to scale the PMO, what are the elements of scalability, what are the categories that are required for leader to determine and size the right size PMO for them. Virtual and outsourced PMO. The book talks about how PMOs can be used in the days and in the eras of virtual teams, agile teams, outsourced members of the team, various vendors and suppliers at various locations, how these PMOs are set up. Agile and lean PMO, not agile only, not lean only, but the combination. There is an understanding in the industry that agile for IT only. You will see how actually hands-on I have built agile and lean PMO for an organization that were able to transform the way traditionally PMOs are run to the new ways of thinking and to the new ways of execution as organization sees it fit. Various PMO trends that are out there. Also a PMO toolkit that is ready to use for PMO professionals, templates and guidelines. Further, PMO do's and don'ts for PMO managers who are newly in this position, in addition to PMO case studies, as well as a global survey that can be used that was done with PMO and executive practitioner to see how they view the PMO successes, challenges, and any issues relevant to PMOs in the industry. The book audience, the book is written for practitioners by a practitioner, as a, again, collection of years of building and setting PMO at the various levels, working with many colleagues and collaborating with many colleagues in PMO forums that I have created in my city and in the industry to collaborate on what success looks like for PMO and how does this success reflect in the organization's successes and challenges. So whether you're an executive, a newly PMO head, a functional or a business unit head, or a project and program manager joining a new PMO or an existing PMO asked to partake in an improvement of a PMO, this book will be for you. If you're an academic, it's for academics by an academic. So I understand we're students, therefore I have a lot of literature covered and a lot of quotes to show how the PMO definitions, types and models have evolved throughout the years, not only just quoting what others said, but having the added value in terms of my practice. Where do I see the PMO heading, as well as my own definitions on what PMO should be doing in addition to what was said in the literature. Also, if you're seeking references, surveys, guidance, it will be a companion for you. The book can be used as a reference guide for further reading, as well as a textbook for students, manual for consultants and new PMO managers to follow a step-by-step guidance that is thought through in terms of when you build a PMO and set up a new existing PMO, what are the things that go into this setup. Also an overall guide for all PMO topics and trends that is handy for any practitioner and academia. The focus in the process is the setup, the build, and the sustainability, or other names you may see in the industry, the definitions or the discovery stage, execution and implementation stage is the same thing. But my use of sustainability above and beyond operation, because there are more that goes into the PMO to make the PMO sustainable, as well as to continue the journey of delivering and mapping to the organization goals and objectives. So again, establishing that supportive environment for the organization. And for each and every stage, there are step-by-step process that takes into account whether a PMO does not exist in an organization or PMO that already exists. Let's face it, many of the PMOs today have already been developed and been also built. As PMI survey shows, almost 90% of organizations have PMO. So the many challenges are not in building new PMO, but the challenge is how you, with existing PMOs, how can you change or identify any of the gaps. So again, the 7 steps in each and every stage, which kind of represent the bulk of the content: how to set up a PMO for new and existing, how to build a PMO for new and existing, and how to sustain the journey for new and existing. And finally, ultimately, with the outcome, whatever we deliver to organization, whatever size of PMO, type and model of a PMO, as my definition suggests, the PMO exists, and the evolutions and the many evolutions of PMO today is for organization executives seeking improved performance and value add. So any of the PMOs that we hear about, they've been shut down and they're now operating well, or they need to be revitalized, they are organizations potentially perceived by their executives as not adding value. Hence, I'll leave you with my definition of a PMO. It's a critical organization function for the organization that adopts variety of roles, models, and structure, should be focused on adding value to the organization to achieve the desired organizational performance. Thank you. And again, you could find the book on Amazon or Frisian Press website, or on Global PMO Solutions site. Thank you all for listening.